The German twisted cast on is a type of a long tail cast on, so we need to leave a long tail, about 4 times the width of the project, or we can measure approximately how many stitches we need. So I'm going to wrap my yarn 10 times around the needle, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is approximately 10 stitches, and let's say we need 30 or whatever for the demonstration. I'm going to measure, that's 20, that's 30, okay, and this is how you just estimate the number of stitches you need to cast on. Then you're going to, when you measure the tail that you need, you're going to create the first slip knot. So let's create a loop and bring the yarn through the loop just to create the first slip knot and place it on your needle. We want to have the yarn that's connected to the ball, the working yarn, on the back, the tail on the front, and hold it in a slingshot position. So the fingers are holding both yarns and the finger and thumb in their place, just holding the yarns. So the thumb is holding the tail and the finger is holding the working yarn. We're going to create a knit stitch. We're going to bring the tip of the needle towards us, and then we're going to pass the loop under both strands of the loop on our thumb. So in a regular long tail cast on, we're going to bring the needle towards us and insert the needle through the loop. In twisted German, we want to go into the loop in the reverse direction. So we need to bring the tip of the finger towards us, then under both strands of the loop. Then we want to tilt the needle tip down towards us and insert it into the loop from top to bottom. So let's tilt the needle towards us and insert it into the loop from top to bottom. So we went through the loop of the thumb. Now we want to pivot the thumb down to open the loop on the thumb, so we can pull the working yarn from the finger through this loop. We want to move the tip of the finger away from us, bring it behind the working yarn on our finger and pull it through the loop we opened with our thumb. And we've created the stitch on the needle. We can now release the thumb and gently push the yarn until the stitch is closed. Let's do another stitch, and we're still in the knit stitches. So bring the needle tip towards us under both strands of the loop on the thumb. Now we want to tilt the needle down towards us into this loop and hold the thumb down to open the loop. We want to go over, away from us, over behind the yarn that's on the finger and pull it through this open loop on the thumb. And we have a stitch. We are going to release the thumb and push gently just to close. And when you create the stitches on the needle, keep them separated. Don't make them too tight here. This is going to give you more stretch. So let's do one more stitch, one more knit stitch. Tilt the needle towards you. then under both strands of the loop on the thumb. Again, tilt it towards you, then down into the loop on the thumb. Rotate your thumb down to open the loop, and then tilt the needle tip towards the finger behind the yarn and pull the yarn towards you through this loop on the thumb. Release the thumb and gently close the stitch. Now let's do the purl stitch. So the purl stitch is the same thing, but in the opposite direction. We're going to move the needle tip away from us, and we want to go under both strands of the finger loop, the index finger loop. Now we want to tilt the needle back away from us and insert it into the loop from top to bottom. We want to hold the finger down to open the loop. And now we can bring the tip of the needle towards us to behind the yarn on the thumb to push it through the loop. And we can release the finger and close the stitch. Let's do one more stitch. So we are going to take the needle away from us under both strands of the loop on our finger. Now tilt it again away from us into the loop from top to bottom. We want to rotate your finger down to open the loop, and then we want to take the yarn on the thumb through the loop. So let's bring our needle towards us behind the strand on the thumb and push it through this loop. Release the yarn, release the finger, and gently close the stitch. One more purl stitch. So needle away from us under both strands of the loop on the finger, then away from us into this loop from top to bottom. Let's rotate the finger down to open the loop, then bring the needle towards us behind the yarn on the thumb and push it through the loop on the finger. Release the finger and close the stitch. And when we work the cast on for the glove, we want to have a 2x2 cast on, which means we're going to make 2 knit stitches and 2 purl stitches. So let's do a few of these. So if we want to cast on in a 2x2 reading, we want to take the needle towards us under both strands of the loop on the thumb, then towards us into this loop from top to bottom. Rotate the thumb down to open the loop, and then go ahead to the yarn on the finger, behind it, and pull it through the loop of the thumb. Release the thumb and pull. So we can see we've created a knit stitch. Let's do one more because we need a 2x2 reading. So needle towards us under both strands of the loop, and then back towards us through the loop from top to bottom. Pivot the thumb down to open the loop, then move away from us, pick up the strand on the finger and pull it through the loop on the thumb. Release the thumb and push another knit stitch. Let's do a purl stitch. Now we have 2 knit stitches, we need 2 purl stitches. So, needle away from us under both strands of the finger. Then away from us, from top to bottom into the loop on the finger. Pivot the finger down to open the loop. Bring the needle towards us to pick up the yarn from the thumb and push it through the loop on the finger. Release the finger and close the stitch. Let's do another purl stitch, and we can see the yarn is making a purl stitch. So bring the needle away from us under both strands of the finger, then away from us into the loop on the finger. Tilt the finger down to open the loop. Bring the needle towards us behind the yarn on the thumb and push it through the loop on the finger. Release the finger and close the stitch. So we have 2 knit stitches, 2 purl stitches. Let's do 2 more together, 2 knits, 2 purls. Knit stitch, needle towards us, under both strands, under the loop on the thumb, into the loop of the thumb, and tilt the thumb down. Let's go ahead and pick up the yarn from the finger, pull it through the loop of the thumb, release the thumb and close the stitch. 1 more knit stitch, needle towards us, under the loop of the thumb, into the loop of the thumb towards us, and pivot the thumb down. Let's go ahead and pick up the yarn from the finger and pull it through the loop of the thumb and close the stitch. So 2 knit stitches. Let's do the last 2 purl stitches together. Needle away from us, under both strands of the loop, away from us into the loop of the finger, and pivot the finger down to open the loop. Let's pick up the yarn from the thumb and push it through the loop of the finger. And release the finger and close the stitch. And the last purl stitch. So needle away from us, under both strands of the loop of the finger, into the finger, and rotate the finger down to open the loop. Let's take the yarn from the thumb, pick it up and push it through the loop of the finger. Release the finger and close the stitch. Continue with 2 knit stitches from the thumb and 2 purl stitches from the finger until you have the correct number of cast on.